Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking through a couple player props I like over on Prizepicks for the Week 2 Thursday Night Football game between the Bills and the Dolphins. Week 2 kicks off on Thursday night with a really good game. Shout out to the NFL for putting up some good primetime games. Yeah, we had a good game to start the season Thursday night, had a really good game Sunday night, had a pretty decent game Monday night. Didn't really turn out that way, but I like the matchup there. And now we got a good game Thursday night between the Bills and Dolphins. So going to talk through some props I like over on Prizepicks for this game. We got two picks to share in this video. Going to talk about a prop that I like on the Bills side, and then we'll talk about a prop that I like on the Dolphins side. So two plays, guys. As always, we're going to break down these plays, talk about why I like them. Now, before we do get started, make sure you guys hit that like button down below if you do enjoy these Prizepicks videos. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And if you guys are new to Prizepicks, and if you don't have an account over on Prizepicks, be sure to sign up. Use promo code NOAH. When you sign up, use my promo code, place your first lineup. You'll get $50 in promo funds instantly added to your account. So no matter if you win or lose that lineup, Prizepicks will add $50 in promo funds to your account that you can then use towards additional lineups that you can play to win money that you can then withdraw if you choose to. But definitely check out Prizepicks, guys, if you have not yet, and make sure to use that promo code NOAH. Prizepicks does have their Week 2 free square available. Once again, Prizepicks has Caleb Williams, 0.5 pass yards. This is a promo Prizepicks is doing. It's available weeks 1 through 4 of the NFL season. So there's another free square available. When this one goes away, there will be another one for week 3. And then when that one goes away, there will be another one for week 4. So just another incentive to get over to Prizepicks right now. And they have a discount for college football as well. Carson Beck, his pass yards is set at 212.5. Line got bumped down about 30 yards or 40 yards. And that's available until Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern time. So if you want if you want to take this discount and pair it with the NFL play for the Thursday night game, you could do that. Yeah, guys, check out Prizepicks, running a lot of cool promos right now. You want to be playing over there. Again, use that code NOAH when you sign up if you have not yet. But let's go ahead and talk through the props that I'm liking for this Thursday night football game. Got a fantasy score prop that I'm liking, and then a pass completions prop. So fantasy score, I'm going to take a look at Josh Allen's fantasy score, and I like him to go over or have more than 22 fantasy score here. Now, for those of you that are new to Prizepicks, fantasy score is basically fantasy football scoring. It's very simple, very self-explanatory. You can click scoring chart. You can see how the fantasy points are calculated. For 25 pass yards, that's 1 point. For every passing touchdown, that's 4 points. Rushing touchdowns are 6 points. And then for rushing yards, you get 1 point for every 10 rushing yards. And then interceptions, you lose a point. Fumbles, you lose a point. If you get 2-point conversions, you get 2 points. Self-explanatory. I'm sure most of you have played fantasy football before, so you know how the scoring system works. So I do like Josh Allen for more than 22 fantasy points here. I mean, you can look at Josh Allen's recent games dating back to last season and this season. He's obviously been a great fantasy quarterback, has been able to get 22 fantasy points in a large majority of games. Week 1 against Arizona, he had 32 fantasy points, had a really good game, threw for 232 yards, had 2 passing touchdowns, also had 9 rush attempts, 39 rush yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. And that's really what makes Josh Allen such a valuable fantasy quarterback, is because they use him a lot as a runner near the goal line, and he can get rushing touchdowns. And obviously rushing touchdowns are really valuable for fantasy score because they're worth 6 points each. So Josh Allen has a lot of ways that he can get fantasy points. And if you just look at his projections for this Thursday night game, he's got some decent projections. I mean, 245.5 pass yards prop. So he's projected for about 10 fantasy points just from pass yards. He's got a 39.5 rush yards prop. So he's projected for about he's projected for about 4 points from rush yards. So add his pass yards and his rush yards together, that gives him about 14 fantasy points there. And then you got to factor in touchdowns. He's basically even money to get a rushing touchdown, and then he has a 1.5 passing touchdowns prop, which is slightly juiced towards the under. So even if we project Josh Allen for 250 pass yards, we project him for 40 rush yards, give him 14 fantasy points there. Let's say he has 1 passing touchdown, 1 rushing touchdown. That's going to add 10 points, and that's going to put him at 24 fantasy score. Let's say he throws 2 touchdowns, but doesn't get a rushing touchdown. Well, if he throws 2 touchdowns to go along with the yardage, that would put him at 22 fantasy score. So there's a lot of ways that we can get 22 fantasy points here from Josh Allen. And again, he's just so valuable to this offense. He's the engine of their offense. The entire offense runs through Josh Allen. And even with no Stephon Diggs this season, even with some lesser weapons at wide receiver, Allen was still able to throw for 232 yards and 2 touchdowns last week. He still was able to add some points on the ground as well. And I like this matchup against the Dolphins. I think this is definitely a game that can be higher scoring. This game does have a relatively high total, 49.5 total right now, so it's got a total close to 50. Vegas is expecting some points to be scored here. If we do get kind of a shootout in this type of game, I do like Josh Allen to have more than 22 fantasy points here. And Josh Allen, he's historically been really good against the Dolphins for what it's worth. I don't really look at that stuff too much, like player versus team stats, because I think that's a little bit overblown. But if you look at last season against the Dolphins, Josh Allen faced them twice, had 36.5 fantasy points and 25.1 fantasy points in his two matchups against the Dolphins last season. And for what it's worth, he went over this fantasy score line in 12 out of 17 regular season games last season. So large majority of his games last year, Josh Allen was able to get 22 fantasy points. Like him to get more than 22 fantasy points on Thursday night. So that's the first prop we're going to roll with, guys. Other prop that I like on the Dolphins side is a pass completions. And I like Tua for more than 22 pass completions. So I was looking at a couple Tua props, pass completions. Also think pass attempts looks pretty solid as well at 33.5. But I'm going to go with pass completions here. You look at Tua, this season. You look at what he did last season. He was able to go over this pass completions line in a large majority of his games. He did have at least 22 pass completions, and I believe 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10 out of, I think, 17. 10 out of 17 regular season games last season, he had at least 22 pass completions. And if you look at his game log, he had 5 games where he finished with 21 pass completions. So he had at least 21 pass completions in all but 2 games last season. The 2 games he went under that, he had 18 against Washington. In a game, he only had 24 pass attempts. And then he had 17 against Buffalo, but he only had 27 pass attempts in that game. So, the 2 games where Tua didn't really come close to this line, Buffalo and Washington, not counting the playoffs, but, when he faced Buffalo and Washington last season in the regular season, he did only have 18 and 17 completions, but he also only had 27 and 24 pass attempts. So his pass attempts, his volume was down. If you look at this, or for Thursday night, he's got a 33.5 pass attempts line. So the sports books are expecting a decent amount of pass attempts here for Tua, and I think we will see Miami up their pass rate a little bit. Miami has already ruled out Raheem Mostert for this game and Devon Achane as a game-time decision. So Miami's already without one of their top 2 running backs. They could potentially be without both of their top 2 running backs if Achane doesn't play. And if Achane doesn't play, I don't know how much Miami's really gonna want to run the ball with Jeff Wilson and Jalen Wright, a rookie who didn't even play last week. So I think we're going to see Miami be a little bit more pass-heavy here. Buffalo, they've historically kind of been a tougher team to run on, too. I know James Conner did have some good numbers last week against Buffalo, but I don't know if Miami's going to have a ton of success running the ball in this matchup. So I definitely think we're going to see Miami up their pass rate a little bit. And if Tua comes anywhere near his 33.5 pass attempts line, like if he has 32, 33, 34 pass attempts, he should have a very good chance at also having 22 completions. If you look at his game log last season, when he had at least 34 pass attempts, or actually you could look at, when he had at least 32 pass attempts last season in games with at least 32 pass attempts, Tua had 23, 23, 21, 25, 24, 22, 28, 28, and 30 completions. So pretty much all but one game last season with at least 32 pass attempts, Tua had at least 22 completions. Now, sure, Tua could be really inefficient here. He could have 35, 36 pass attempts and only 18 or 19 completions, but I think that's pretty unlikely to happen. Tua has historically been a relatively efficient quarterback as a passer. Last season, I want to say he had a relatively good completion percentage. I can actually pull that up real quick just to confirm. Take a look at Tua's averages last season. So last season, Tua had 69.3% completion percentage last season, which was the highest of his career. Last week against Jacksonville, he only had a 62.2% completion percentage. So his volume was good last week. He did have 37 pass attempts, but only 23 completions. But I wouldn't bake too much into that. Historically, Tua has been an efficient passer. And last year, the Bills did allow an above-average completion percentage to quarterbacks. They gave up a 65.8% completion percentage, which was 13th, which did rank above league average. All in all, I think if we see Tua have 33, 34, 35 pass attempts, if we see him come close to that pass attempts line, he should also have a very good chance of getting at least 22 completions. And I wouldn't be surprised, again, if you do see this be a game where Miami ups their pass rate a little bit, missing Raheem Mostert, potentially without Devon Achane too. We'll have to see if he plays or not. But I was looking at some sportsbook odds. I think right now in DraftKings they have his pass completions line set at 22.5, and it's minus 105 to the over. So it's pretty much even money at 22.5. We're getting it at 22 on Prizepicks. So I like taking that as our second play for Thursday night. Tua for more than 22 pass completions. So these are the two props, guys, that we're going to roll with for Thursday Night Football, Bills and Dolphins. We did get a win on Monday night. Hopefully you guys tailed the plays we gave out Monday. Breece Hall over 16 fantasy score. Debo over 6 targets. Let's see if we can keep that rolling into this Thursday night game and hopefully hit both these plays for Thursday night. So as always, guys, appreciate you watching. Hit that like button down below if you enjoy. Hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And again, guys, if you don't have an account on Prizepicks, be sure to sign up. Use promo code NOAH. Play your first lineup. You'll instantly get $50 in promo funds added to your account when you sign up and use that code NOAH. But good luck tonight, guys. Thanks for watching. As always, we will see you in the next video. Peace.